Dr. Ganja in the chat said, Bears impressed, but Caleb's still missing layups. Is
Definitely.
too amped.
What was his name? Ganja?
Dr. Ganja.
Doctor, I like you, Dr. Ganja. That's a
licensed
good name.
physician.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. Dr. Ganja, I might need to get a prescription from you. Yo, what's up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Connor Rogers and I, we're here. It's Wednesday. We're not live. This is taped one here. I'm really the main. I need to come up with a nickname. If he's Dr. Ganja, I got to be something better than that. I don't know what that is.
Damn, that's good.
Right? But yeah, that's right. I'm a doctor in the Ganja department.
That's right.
For sure.
You're the assistant.
I'm
like
a
pharmaceutical assistant. Yes. Yeah. Connoisseur, also taste tester, product trials.
Yeah, right.
Whatever it may be. Either way, it's good to have him a part of the show.
Definitely.
We're all happy about that. Another massive film review day, Chris.
Yeah,
we didn't even get through all of them during the live.
No. We
got some carryover.
We had some carryover. We probably did too much in the live.
That's
kept
okay.
the people a little too long. But you and I have never been short on words or thoughts of football, so that's a little bit of a problem there.
That is the one, maybe one of the bad additions of me.
Yeah.
I'll let you go. We'll sit here for 9 hours during the podcast. Everybody else in the back might be like, oh, God.
Can you hurry it up? Let's move it along.
These two
move the
again.
Conversation.
Yep. So we got the Chiefs today, Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Time to give Trevor Lawrence a little love
we
as
need
well.
to.
We've seen a different Trevor Lawrence.
Yes,
so I'm
we have.
excited to hear from you on that one, talking top-tier wide receivers. And as we always do on the Wednesday show, we'll preview the following week with a round of what's more likely. We're also tracking our results now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so we're gonna go.
Good.
We're gonna go back to what we picked the previous week.
No.
So I don't even remember the top ones
I don't
at this
either.
point. So it's this might be bad, it might be good. We'll see. Listen, Chris, jumping right into Chiefs Texans.
Yeah.
The failed fourth down.
Right.
We've talked about Andy Reid's decision, but we haven't really talked about the play.
Right.
Because whether you love or hate the decision, so many times people make up their mind of that with what happens of the play.
Right.
What did you think of that as a whole?
Yeah, listen, I didn't I don't love that fourth down decision. Right. I can put myself in Andy Reid's shoes and kind of feel for him or know what he thought. I get that. I don't like either fourth down decision. Even when they're down 17-10, the next drive, and it's 4th and 4. I would have gone, you know what, we're on our own side of the field. Let's punt it. Let's see if we can stop them like we've done pretty much the whole night and see if we can get the ball around midfield and then go down and score. That's what would have been my approach. But here would be my first thought. All right, you run crossers against the Houston Texans. That my first thing would tell you that I would tell you right off the bat would go, I wouldn't live in the crosser world against the Houston Texans on a gotta-have-it play. I wouldn't live in the crosser world against any team that's rooted in Seattle's scheme on crossers on a big moment, because Seattle's scheme is famous, literally famous, and why the league could not catch up to it at first was going, wait, it looks like man-to-man. It's man-to-man. Let's call our man-to-man play. What? They didn't go. They stopped and passed it off, and then they took the other guy. What? Hold on a second. Ask Peyton Manning about the Super Bowl against Seattle, right? Remember the first play they snapped over his head. The second time, the first throw he thought he had man-to-man with Demaryius Thomas over the middle, and he got freaking killed, if you remember.
Shell shock moment.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like,
I was sitting there watching it shocked.
Yeah,
I was like, how is this happening?
Exactly right. So that would be my first thought. Getting crossers against teams that are a team like the Texans who play that scheme, to me, is dicey, right? The teams that have success against the Seattle scheme, let's just say the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, or when they played the Falcons, because the Falcons are a Seattle team and Dan Quinn, right? They found ways to, let's put two guys here, run one guy this way, and then have somebody sit in the middle, just spreading out, and then boom, we hit him for 5 yards. Stuff like that, right? This guy goes that way. This guy looks like he's going to follow him. He stops and he comes back out, and boom, we get 5 yards that way. To me, that's more of how you live against this coverage than, I think we're going to get man, but I'm not sure. And it's a team that's as good as anybody in football at passing off crossers. That's what I don't love about the play.
Is the problem with the crossers, for those at home trying to envision this as they're listening or watching, is it that you're running into the coverage?
A little bit. You're running into the coverage. It's tight right there in the middle of the field. There's people with going to be hands up and doing that. Exactly right. They end up rushing 5, and we're going to show this play in a minute, but they rush 5. And where they're great is they show it and make it look like it's going to be man. So on this play, Mahomes gets kind of fooled. I'm not going to lie.
The one we're going to show is just a reminder, everyone, it's the first one.
It's the first
one.
So
it's tied.
10-10,
Yes.
10-10, and they go for it on the 4th and 1.
About 10 and a half minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 1. They're at their 31-yard line. It is a tied game.
And as we just discussed on Monday, they had not done jack diddly shit on offense to this point. So
this is our cursing pod.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, they didn't do fucking shit to that point. All right, nothing. All right. So that was that I don't understand. That's why I don't understand going for it. But okay, so let's break down the play. And this is one where, it feels like Mahomes maybe got fooled a little bit with the coverage and what we got here. All right, so I'm going to roll back here and talk about this.
You talk about this formation out of the jump. First off, this is wild.
You're right. I need to talk about the formation.
You don't see this a lot.
Not at all.
Maybe ever.
And I think I wrote it down, so I got to make sure I look at this too, because I got to make sure I got my notes here. But, okay, this is Kareem Hunt at tight end down here, right? Here's Kareem Hunt. Hollywood Brown's back at tailback. Hollywood Brown was over here. He ran over here to go this. Nobody traveled with him. So that's your first key to go, wait, I don't know. This looks like it's blitz man, okay? Looks like it's blitz man. There's 5 men at the line of scrimmage. You're kind of thinking, oh, that's a man-to-man look. People look like they're head up on everybody, right?
Right.
So you go, maybe this is man-to-man. Okay. But my first key would be, wait, nobody came with Hollywood Brown. If it was man-to-man, I think somebody would have ran with him. Oh, maybe this isn't man. Second key that I'll tell you, no, it's not man-to-man. In a man-to-man coverage, they never put a corner on a tailback. They would never do that. They would never. Even though it looks like that, that's not a man-to-man coverage.
A waste of a resource,
right?
Exactly
right. They're not going to do that.
Kareem Hunt's not. You're not scared of him running by anyone.
We got to go put our second-best cover guy on Kareem Hunt, right? So, exactly. That's what I'm telling you, all right? Within man-to-man, Al-Shazier is not covering Juju Smith-Schuster in that moment. So that's where I'm a little surprised that there wasn't a check or a different play call here, right? But within this, the play is still there to be had, okay? It's still there to be had. All right, so what you're going to get first off is Juju is going to come across and run the crossing route, right? And I think Mahomes thinks it's man, and he's going to look at him. All right, so they're going to do this crossing route, also Hollywood Brown behind it, because they're going to give 2 man-to-man options. If it's man-to-man, they're going to almost set a pick for Hollywood Brown could go in the flat. I think maybe he can throw it to Hollywood Brown. I understand him not doing it, all right? Kind of like Caleb Williams yesterday in our podcast where you go, yeah, he might have thrown it. Maybe he would have got it first, but maybe he would have caught it and got hit, and then I don't know if he gets the first, right? But they're trying to create man-to-man rubs and picks. So let's go to the first picture, Pete. First picture, all right? So there's Hollywood Brown. See him?
Yeah.
He's coming across, all right? He doesn't give him much of a look, which I think he could have a little bit. But I think he sees, like, guys out here kind of just looking, and he's like, I don't know if I trust that, right? Now, he thinks, I think it's man-to-man, so he's going, wait, he didn't like that. He's going, wait, it's man-to-man, it's quick. I'm going to get off to Juju really quickly then, right off of that. So he's here right here. He's yet to really look at Hollywood. This is still a little early. But as you see, Lassiter is not worried about Kareem Hunt, who's blocking and then going to run a little check down. He is going to be here in about a split second going, I'm waiting for him.
Run into him.
I'm waiting for him. That's all I'm worried about. Right. So you're going to come right into him. So let's go to the next picture here, Pete.
Shout out to Kelsey changing our pictures today while Pete's kicking his legs up.
Oh, good. Way to go.
One show is enough for the day.
We got a professional working.
Yes, that's why you notice the pace. We're moving today.
So this is where it's a little different here too. And a split second ago, could he have maybe thrown it to him? But I get it. All right. It's 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's like, I don't know if he's going to turn around. He's not a big guy. He's not going to be someone.
It's like our DeAndre Swift combo with the Caleb play.
Exactly.
Like if the ball's going to be there, but be up short of the sticks, it better be perfect.
It better be perfect right there so he could turn up and get it, right? So it's very similar to the Caleb play. But now he's come to the middle, and he's kind of getting ready like, oh, I like Juju, but then he sees Lassiter, and he goes, oh, no. Now, if he didn't know it was man-to-man, this is where the beauty of the play is, and it's a zone and some sort of zone, which is this is a zone here. As you could tell, nobody's really playing man-to-man, right? This was his zone option. And if he was expecting zone, he should be throwing it to him right now, right? They did the old, Kelsey goes up. We got a crosser. He kind of made it look like he might run out, and then he came underneath. That's what he ran, a little angle route, right? And if it's zone, I think Mahomes gets to him right away. But Mahomes is still looking at the crosser, and he's just now realizing, it's not man-to-man. And now he feels pressure, so he's going to step up. So he can't just go to him right away. And he's going to be, let's go to the next picture, Kelsey. You'll see the next picture. Now he's throwing, but now Derek Stingley has seen it, and he's driving.
Too late.
Right. It's too late. So within that, and this is where they're a tricky team. I think it's like we're playing 3-zone with somebody on a lock call. Like, I think Stingley was the only guy playing man-to-man. He's the only guy. You got Rashee Rice. We're going to figure out everything else without everybody else, right? Because he's here in this bunch, and now he's gone. Everybody else, as you see, is kind of like, hey, let's just get to our areas and stop the play. He came from here and went, oh, no, my rule is I have to cover my guy. Everybody else is playing zone, but they've already sent one crosser, and we have a 5-man pressure. So their rules are, wait, one crosser, last of the got him. 2 crossers, I got to go with them.
Yeah.
So that's where he fought through traffic, and Mahomes is late, and as you see, he's just trying to throw it now, and by the time ball gets there, let's go to the next picture, Kelsey. You're going to see Stingley's there, bang, bang, ball knocked down. So a little bit of everything there where you go, yeah, of course I don't love them going for it. And then the second thing on top of that is I think Mahomes was fooled. He wasn't exactly sure of what he was getting. And because of that, he stays on Juju too long where it feels like, no, instead of being on Juju, he should have just gave little look to Juju, like, oh, yeah, I might go to you just to clear it out to go, now I'm going to go to Rashee Rice, boom, hit it, first down, boom, we keep going. And it just speaks to the Chiefs this year. Mahomes hasn't always been on his game to the right capacity. Right? Andy Reid hasn't called the right plays. Oh, we have pass protection problems, but they were pretty good in pass protecting this game with the injuries and everything they had, and just has not clicked for them by any capacity throughout the whole year.
That, to me, also highlighted the talent in the Texans defense.
I know.
Because it's like, the edge rushers get home, and there's freak man cover corner Derek Stingley.
Yeah, where they're like, just sift through it and still go run after their best receiver.
That's a ridiculous ask.
They are a special defense. They are. And even within that, and that's what's crazy about them, right? Because they're so talented, they're so fast, they're so chaotic, right? There's like guys kind of open, but nothing feels open if you're out in the field as a quarterback against teams like that. Because you're just like, man, people are going around, flying around everywhere. And that leads to, errant throws or maybe a bad decision or, I moved in the pocket and I should have had to. But that Houston Texans defense, I love it. It's special.
Yeah, they got it all rolling right now for the Texans, and their odds to steal that division keep climbing because of performances like that. Our next bit of the film, the film review, this one right out of the notebook. Chris, every week we talk about this in fantasy. Why is Jaxon Smith-Njigba just running open every week? Because you look at it, and you have the one outlier week when he went up against Brian Flores' Vikings defense, a weird game script, but still, 2 catches for 23 yards.
Right.
Essentially every other week, monster performance after monster performance. Right. So you turned on the tape to see JSN against the Falcons, a game where Seattle really didn't get going to the second half.
Yeah.
But what are you seeing with JSN as he took this monster leap this year?
Individually, he's freakish, right? We've had this conversation, 4 times over the last month?
Better athlete than people realize.
Exactly right. And there's other freak things other than just his fast running that goes along with it, right? I mean, we've talked about it. This is an elite guy. One, he's faster than people realize, so he can run by you. His route running is elite. His ability to not lose speed out of breaks, right? I'm going to run this way and then break back in, and he can do it almost at full speed. So when people talk about, the ability to get in and out of transition, out of breaks, and burst out of breaks, and not lose speed out of breaks, this is the kind of guy you're talking about. So he can literally go, wait, I'm running 4-4 this way, and I'm going to put my foot in the ground in one seamless motion, maybe not run 4-4 anymore, but only go down to 4-4-5 and barely lose any speed when you make a break, out route, whatever it is. So he is amazing that way. He's got good feel on how to set DBs up. Right, he's a little mature for a second-year guy. Knows how to lean people and then break it the other way. Push against their leverage, break the other way. So that's where you see his acceleration out of breaks. Again, so now he makes the break, and like I said, he doesn't lose much speed, but he comes out and he gets right back to full speed in one step. And then his releases are up there with anybody in the sport. He's getting close to Devontae Adams-ish with releases. That's how good he is. And then you couple that with his ability when he gets the ball in his hand, again, to make cuts and moves at full speed, right? And accelerate that way. And then he's got a lower half that's kind of like a running back to where you go, he can run through arm tackles and do all that stuff too, and that's why he's, arguably the best receiver in the game right now.
As we show a little bit of notes from the notebook, and what you're saying, Chris, to me is when he's such a fascinating case, right? Because pre-draft runs a 4.52, and everyone's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
like whatever,
right.
4.52.
Right.
The 6.57 3-cone, that's 96th percentile.
That's the number there.
That's the number.
That's the number.
That's the change of direction.
Yep.
The control.
Exactly right.
That's what the 3-cone for wide receivers. It doesn't mean everything.
No.
But it means
it
just as much
says
as
a lot about route running.
Yes.
It does.
And this is it translating on the
field.
field.
No question it is. It is. And that's where his lower half is special. And it's where I messed up, like I've told you a million times, in evaluating like him and Emeka Egbuka. Because what I misevaluated is just like, oh, yeah, college, okay. He ran an option route every now and then, do that. The NFL, there's so many of these routes, right? To where it's like you can build an offense around this guy and that skill set. And that's where I misevaluated. Also, I think he's faster now than in college. I think he's lost weight. If you asked me and we went back, I'd go, no, he's gotten – NFL receivers are all like, what are you worried about being so muscular for? That's one thing that skill guys all learn when they get to the NFL. They all go, wait, why am I trying to bench 400 pounds still and like look like I'm the Incredible Hulk? My game is about speed and quickness. And I can't tell you how many times in my career and still to this day where rookie comes in and they're like, well, what are you so big and bulky for? You got to run away from, Patrick Surtain and Quinyon Mitchell. Big and bulky ain't going to do it. You're going to have to cut a little. So I feel like he's gotten even faster that way. So that is why he is awesome in that department. And then, as you might have saw in my notes, I feel like 2 out of every 3 pass plays are called for him, right? This is Clint Kubiak. He's from that Shanahan school. McVay, it's like, hey, he's our bread and butter guy. We're going to feature him, and we're going to feature his ass to death until you stop it.
Yeah.
Right? It is. It's old school Jerry Rice, West Coast. It's what I was with John Gruden. Whether we had Joey Galloway or a Michael Clayton, it was like, no, every play is going to be for them, and if they overplay it, you'll know you got somebody else to throw the ball to. So that's where they have begotten really damn good. They're patient with the run, right? Darnold's awesome at all those kind of 15 to 10-yard throws. He's got a quick release. He could put it on the money, make him run, and that's where it's got a special combination right now in Seattle.
He's also taken a massive jump this year. Like you said, Chris, it's not just this guy that this is what he was as a prospect. You look at 2024, all the numbers have gone drastically up. Obviously, the receiving yards per game, maybe that's more to being featured.
Yeah.
You go from 66.5 per game to 109.9.
It's amazing.
I think the speed and body control points to the yards per reception, going from 11.3 to 16. Also, credit to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold throws the ball down the field.
Sam Darnold.
He's not game manager. Let's be careful quarterback.
Exactly right. He's aggressive.
Yes.
I mean, Sam at times is like, you're like, what the hell are you thinking? Don't do that.
Yep.
I mean, I know he was open the last 3 plays, but don't try to fit it in there now. But, yes, I think it speaks to all that. And then as we always talk about, too, just system fit. I think this is a system that knows how to use him better than maybe Grubbs, who was the ex-offensive coordinator who's now at Alabama. Right? They have just some more creative ways that fit his skill set to get him the ball. And that's where they're scary. And again, here, this is where they're scary too, right? You saw, I wrote, his releases are among the best in the sport. I mean, it's incredible when you watch him shake people. And then, of course, this is where the acceleration comes again. So he gets somebody leaning, and then, yeah, it might not be 4.39, but it's like, whoa, it's 4.48, like in 2 steps, and here he goes. So he's shaking you, and now he's already at full speed, and it's like it's over. He's open. You're not going to catch him now. It's too late. That's done. And that's where he's amazing too. So with or without the ball, that's amazing. And then, of course, the strength. And then this is where I'm excited about them too, because I still think there's untapped potential in this offense. I know they're going to run the ball. You watch Rashid Shaheed on film and you go...
The movement.
Nobody can run with Rashid Shaheed. We talked about Christian Watson. We talk about Jamison Williams. Rashid Shaheed's in that class of going, I don't know, maybe he's the fastest receiver in football, right? It's that kind of guy. And My thing with them, the only thing I think they're missing, because right now they're kind of playing, hey, get the ball to Jaxon Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp runs a little of the option routes here and there, and let's leave Shaheed one-on-one, because if they try to stop all that other stuff, we'll just throw to him one-on-one. I want to see them go to the Rams way a little bit. I want to see JSN and Rashid right next to each other. I want to see them stacked up, and then they go, pick your poison. What do you want to do? Do you want to stop JSN on the short route? Or you want to stop Rashid Shaheed on the deep route, or vice versa, because they both can do it.
That's right.
And that's where I think they need to do that too. Right now they got Shaheed pegged for only the deep routes, and I'm going to go, let Shaheed run some of these Jaxon Smith throws. It's only going to help the offense out. It's going to help everybody out.
Lethal.
Exactly right. I mean, he can run an option route and break to the right for 5 yards and catch the ball and watch out, right? That's where, to me, they hopefully can get to that level there. Because when they get to that level and then their patience in the run game, man, it's going to be tough. You can't double people when it's like that. It's hard, right? I don't know. They're stacked. They do a certain release. Our double's messed up.
How do you get hands on them,
We don't know what to do, and you don't get hands on them. Exactly. And I think that's the next phase for this offense as we go forward.
I feel like you're harder on yourself than you should be with JSN pre-draft, because he was still wide receiver 2 for you.
All right.
But yeah, it's an evolving league.
Yeah.
And I feel like your thoughts on this kind of wide receiver have begun to change a little bit.
They've begun to change.
What is that? Is it just the technician aspect of it?
The technician asset. I think the short area quickness to your 3-cone drill is the thing I got to take into, and that there's a real niche for that kind of player in the NFL to build an offense around it. And then I don't think, the strength and the physicality of the player, like we talked about with Xavier Worthy on Monday. Like, he gets shoved once, and it's like
he's out of bounds.
He doesn't run 4.2 anymore. He's out of bounds, and now he's running 4.6.
Yep.
Like, who cares? JSN, you get hands on him, and you go, not really affected. He's strong. And then, of course, he catches the ball, and he can break tackles. And I think those are the things that I, didn't give him enough credit for. Right? And who was number 1 that year? Who was
Zay Flowers.
I had Zay Flowers, right. So which is
damn good player.
Damn good, but JSN's better. That's for sure. And he's a bigger human. And that's where I probably didn't give him enough credit in that department as compared to Zay Flowers.
So, game-changing wide receivers this year. We want to do a little exercise here. Who the wide receivers are that we think will have the biggest impact down the stretch and into the playoffs. JSN is in this category.
Yeah.
We kind of have the Puka Nacua combo with him.
Well, of course.
I know it's coming off a bad week, but George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb still have to be in this combo.
100%.
CeeDee in concussion protocol right now, unfortunately.
What's crazy about that, when you watch them and break them down, they're both phenomenal, as we know. The league has stated who they think is better. That is not even close.
Pickens.
Without a doubt.
Wow.
Teams have decided to go ahead, CeeDee. You're one-on-one. We can't double everybody, but we're not letting number 3 be alone, because he can run by everybody on our team. And even if he doesn't run by him, he'll go up and catch some crazy ball, right? So the league has told everybody that George Pickens is the man. But they're up there. Now, whether they make the playoffs or not, that's the question. JSN is right up there, and then I think right off that it's Puka Nacua, right? As far as playoff contending type wide receivers that we know are special that way, I think it's those two.
Is Nico on the fringe of the combo?
Nico, I think, is right there, the next guy.
Because sometimes the offense,
player,
and the offense limits him at times.
Exactly right. But Nico, I think, is in that group as well. I'm cool with putting Nico there, 100%. I like that.
Who's this? Give me the deep cut one. Like, is it Christian Watson? Not there yet, but it's like, man, we're 3 weeks away where he could be.
That's where
I know you've loved him.
Don't forget about Jaden Reed, because I know he's going to be a go-to guy, and Christian Watson is definitely a guy. If he stays healthy, the world will figure out in playoff football and start to go, oh my gosh, this guy's a freak of nature, right? So I feel him too. Denver, is there a guy that I feel that way about? Not really.
No.
Not really. I like Courtland Sutton, but I don't feel like he's in that category. New England's got a whole crew of characters that are damn good that I like, but I'm not going to put them in that category. I think I'd say the same thing about Jacksonville. BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr., has the ability. He's had a down year a little bit.
Yeah, he has.
But he had a great week last week, so maybe this is about to come. And, man, Jacoby Myers, getting him was huge for them. Steelers, nobody. Chargers, I'm not really going to put anybody in that class either. Buffalo, I'm definitely not putting anybody in that class. Right. So that takes pretty much the AFC right there. Right. I think we said the names. I think we did. You get in the NFC, we hit the Rams. Right. It's Puka. I love Devontae. I'm not going to put him in the class of the Puka or JSN or Nico Collins. I'm not going to do that.
And this is for the playoff team.
Right.
Reminder, like, we're not talking Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
We know Jamar Chase is the man. Exactly right. All right. Then you get into Green Bay. You know my thoughts there. So, yeah, I like that. Philadelphia, I'm still a believer in those guys.
Sure.
I mean, how could you not be?
Some of it's out of their hands.
I know. Exactly right. I mean, what's A.J. Brown? For 100 yards, 4 straight games now? I mean, he's still a freak of nature. Freak of nature. Tampa, you know, I want to say Emeka Egbuka, but I can't put him in the class of those guys right now.
Too many drops lately.
Too many drops. Just doesn't seem like it's worked out the same way lately.
You know who might have to be this month?
Yeah.
T-Mac, Tedero McMillan.
It could be.
Like,
you're right.
If the Panthers are going to win this division, and it is not going to be easy, he might have to be one of these guys.
I think so.
Not Puka Nacua or Jaxon Smith-Njigba, but can he be the Nico Collins of the Panthers?
I think he can, right? He's got a little bit of that. And he's probably a better route runner than Nico, so where you can do some of that, you know, JSN, Devontae Adams type of stuff. That's why people loved him, because they were like, wait, he can do all this stuff. That's why we're going to take him. I feel like we get to there. I am a lover of Rashid Shaheed. I'm going to say it one more time. I don't think there's anybody on the 49ers I'm talking about like that way. The Bears, man, I like all of those guys. I'm not sure I'm going to put any of them in that class.
Yeah.
Right? Dunze maybe getting there, but not
to be healthy.
He got to be healthy. And then you get to the Lions.
Oh, man.
And I go, there's 2 there. There's 2 that I would put in that category. So, you know, I think, and again, you guys tell me, is there anybody I'm missing you think that's worthy of that conversation? I think we hit the main guys right there.
I think so, too.
You know, but yes, Puka, JSN, Nico Collins, A.J. Brown, those would be the guys maybe at the top of the list. And then you have, like, the second-tier guys of Rashid Shaheed, Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, exactly right, and those kind of guys. That's kind of how I look at it, at least right now.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we're diving into the film on Trevor Lawrence, maybe playing the best football of his NFL career.
Seriously.
Jim, what's making this offense work right now?
Honestly, Trevor, QB. He's facilitating to everybody. He has full control of the offense. He's running when he needs to run. He's throwing when he needs to throw. And obviously the run game and our line. I think we understand what type of team we are and the type of team that we want to be. We want to run the ball. We want to be physical. And when we need to throw the ball, we're going to throw the ball and we're going to make plays.
That was the Grizzly vet, Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
That was a very honest, genuine, thoughtful answer.
Totally. I mean,
he could have went anywhere. He
right.
Liam Cohen's got us ready,
right.
or we're just putting it all together. He's like, honestly, it's just Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and I think he's telling the truth here.
That's how I felt.
I mean, we're going to see where this goes, but it feels like we've turned a corner here. It feels like from the Houston game, the Arizona Cardinal game that they squeaked out in overtime where he threw some dumb interceptions in that, it feels like that was kind of like a come-to moment, and he's been a different player ever since that. The game I saw on film against the Colts on Sunday, he's had some good games in his career.
Sure.
Right?
The Chiefs win this year.
Right. That game, I mean, even, the year they went to the playoffs a few years ago, he had some games where we were like, statistically, it was pretty awesome.
Yep.
I think this is the best game I've seen him play as a technician of an offense as a quarterback. Not just making plays, but just running the offense the way it's in control.
Yeah.
Comfortable, knew where to go with the ball. Like he knew when the call came in, he's like, okay, I know what Liam wants on this play now. I feel like that's maybe where we're finally at. Hopefully that continues, right? Pete made a comment when we came at it, when we were in break a little bit ago. He goes, it always feels like he takes 2 steps forwards and 1 step back.
Right.
I feel like with this coach and this offense and all this will be the time he takes 2 steps forward and continues to go forward. Now, I might be wrong. We'll see. And I'll say it if I'm wrong. But I was very impressed by watching this back on film. I really was. He played one of his best games I've ever seen him play.
It also feels like he's a guy that, and this is natural, he's a little bit of a victim of expectations where it's like this was supposed to be the best prospect since Andrew Luck. And the environment hasn't been great for a couple years. He hasn't been great in his own right.
Exactly right.
But now we feel like they got the coach.
Yep.
feel like they got the pieces.
Exactly.
You've been praising Jacoby Myers. That just feels like a seamless.
It has been perfect.
Like almost a safety blanket,
right?
Or like a comfort food for him.
Yeah.
What does a guy bring like that to a pass game with just how responsible of a player he is?
Well, it's almost like it's like a Devontae Adams-ish kind of guy. You know, it's the guys we talk about that are in the trust tree. It's like the guys Jaden Reed we talked about on Tuesday, right? There's always an element of offense where it's like we need a guy that can do a little bit of everything. And on big downs or whatever, we know this guy can read the coverage the right way and make the offensive coordinator and the quarterback right no matter what it is, right? And that's where I think he's really good. And then also on top of that, Jacoby Myers is such a bigger human than people realize. So he's also one of those guys where it's like, oh, he's covered, but I can kind of throw it away from the defender, and he's big enough to go get that. I think that's where Jacoby Myers, just a true professional that has no weakness to his game. And you know, sure, his strength is not running by people for 60-yard bombs. No, they already got that in Brian Thomas Jr. They needed more of the guy that could do the 10 to 15 to 8-yard type of routes, and that's where he's special that way. And you said it right about Trevor Lawrence, Connor. The expectations, there's been some mechanical flaws.
Since high school, by the way.
Since high school.
This
He's
was
gotten it done with natural,
since high school.
just natural throwing.
Yeah.
He just gotten it done. He had the Urban Meyer experience, was about as dysfunctional as you could possibly get. He gets Doug Peterson where, okay, this is better, but it's not advanced algebra like you're getting with Liam Cohn.
Right.
And Liam Cohn is, I think, and then on top of that, I think you got a guy in Trevor Lawrence where, hey, the talk about Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville was always a little bit, he likes football, we're not sure he loves football. Not sure he's a gym rat like all the other great quarterbacks are. I don't think he's hanging around, watching film, doing whatever. Hey, who are we going to draft? What's going on in free agency, right? He's not that, like Mahomes or Josh Allen or anybody that way. I think there was that phase that was missing. That's where a psycho like Liam Cohn comes into play. Because now he's like, well, what are you doing? Like, it's Tuesday. We're not in here for an hour and you go home. It's Tuesday. You're a quarterback. You're making $55 million. We're working today. We're working. I know it's a player's day off, but not for the richest guy in the organization who's got to lead everything. I think that's where Liam Cohn comes in and brings Trevor Lawrence to the next level, and I think that's what you're seeing on the football field a little bit.
And fosters an environment that he wants to be around.
Exactly right. And now you start to have some success, and now you're starting to go, wait, all this crap this guy told me that was jumbling my brain early in the year, now it's making sense, and oh, shit, he's open. Oh, my gosh, you're right, Liam. This is a great offense. And I think that's where we're getting. The big thing you notice right away, great rhythm. Trevor Lawrence could, at times, sit there flat-foot, and then you'd go, okay, what's he doing? And then it would go, in real jerky, crazy motion. And you go, oh, damn, I don't know where that ball was going. I mean, the guy's 7 yards away, and he all of a sudden had this spastic reaction throw, right? I don't know what he missed him. Of course he missed him. Or it would be just hopping in the pocket a little bit. And now I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hitch and rhythm, boom, throw the ball. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let me sit here. Is he open? Oh, now he's open. Let me throw it as hard as I can, right? That's not good quarterback play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, take a hitch. Oh, the first guy's not open. Hey, the second hitch, I'm looking at him. Oh, he's open. Boom, I throw it in rhythm on time. And it's helping with anticipation, right? And now his head and his feet are kind of married together where it does help young quarterbacks at time. Because what it does when they start to harp on your feet all the time, you listen to your feet. And you go, my coach has told me with my second hitch, I'm supposed to be on the second read. And then you start to get to a point where you're going, wait, I'm on my third hitch. This ain't right. All right, I got to get to my third read. What am I doing? And I think all that's starting to click for Trevor Lawrence right now.
It feels that way. The time to throw was down last week. I think it was in like the 2.6s. He's usually kind of a 2.9 guy, so it speaks to your point.
Yeah,
everything. Right. And honestly, comfort in the offense.
Exactly.
In offense,
that's what it is.
Seems for real.
They're running the ball good again there.
Yeah, but
and he's not. Like the one thing I love about Liam, he doesn't give up on it if it's just ugly. He knows the attempts are important. That's his McVay history there. Hey, we got to keep running it even though it's not working great because our play action is the greatest thing we got, and we just want to keep them honest in that department. But decisive as hell, the mechanics have always been all over the place. It's the best mechanical game I've ever seen when I've really studied them and watched them. His body was in the right position on every throw of the football game, except for one throw. He threw to Brenton Strange over the middle, and he stepped not at him and tried to do the old, just let me flip my hips and get it there that way, and the ball behind him. Other than that, man, even the balls that were a little off target on completions or incompletions, you're like, I can understand why he threw it there. I get it. And that's, to me, when you start missing throws and you're missing them by a few inches, that's when you go, oh, man, he's feeling it. He's got great control, and he's totally in rhythm as a passer.
Trevor Lawrence now on the board for Comeback Player of the Year, courtesy of DraftKings. Christian McCaffrey, the heavy favorite in this at -145. Dak Prescott at +125. But then right after them, Trevor Lawrence +3,000 after missing 7 games last year. Jaguars are in control right now, Chris. They already have 9 wins. They play the Jets. All right, the Broncos after that will be tough, but then they play what's left of the Colts and the Titans.
They're going to the playoffs.
This is a 12-win team.
Yeah, they're going
12-win
to the playoffs.
team.
That's right. They're going to the playoffs. It's just going to be, right, do they lose one, and then I don't know what happens in the tiebreaker between them and the Houston Texans, right? That's what we'd have to figure out. Right, but yes, I mean they're a playoff team, and also like don't be shocked if they get in the playoffs and win games. Like it's not crazy. Their talent is there. They got pass rushers. They got 2 good middle linebackers. They got a few guys that can lock you down and cover man to man. They got a pretty creative scheme that hasn't gone overboard trying to be creative and chaotic lately. And then we know they can game plan on the offensive side of the ball with some talent there. So, yeah, like don't be shocked if Jacksonville's in Divisional Sunday. Can they upset somebody on Divisional Sunday or Saturday and go to championship Sunday? I don't think that's crazy in the AFC either this year. I don't think we got any world beaters, so it's going to be a little bit how the matchups play. I mean, if Jacksonville plays Buffalo, what are you going to do? Like, who are you going to take? You tell me. I mean, Buffalo's not that great. You're not just going, Buffalo because they win in the playoffs, right?
No, it's
Jacksonville plays Pittsburgh.
Combo.
Jacksonville plays the Chargers. Jacksonville plays Denver. I mean, we're going to see that game in 2 weeks. So, yeah, they can make a move in the AFC this year.
I was looking up your question because I was really curious as well what it would be if a tiebreaker, because they would be tied head-to-head.
Yes.
They'd be tied division in that scenario. They would possibly be tied for common games.
Gosh. So
it would go number 4 is conference record.
Wow.
And the most likely scenario is the Texans would be 1 win better than them in conference record.
Okay.
So they got to floor it here.
Yes, they do.
They have 3 very winnable games of the last 4. They might have to upset the Broncos. We'll see. It's crazy if they need to get to 13 wins. 12 could get it done, but the problem is the Texans are just never losing. They play the Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, and Colts.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like literally down to the
It's
wire.
going to be those AFC West matchups. Can the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Broncos?
Yes.
Can the Texans beat the Chargers?
That's it, right there.
If they do, it feels like they're going to run the table. And if they both run the table, then Jacksonville wins. They got the 1-game lead right now at 9-4, and Houston's at 8-5. But yeah, I think either one of those teams in the AFC South can make a major move in the AFC playoffs.
We're taking our last break. When we're back, we're previewing the biggest Week 15 matchups. Of course, it's what's more likely after this.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Our Week 15 preview, what's more likely? Before we get there, let's look at Week 14's results. The first one was Jonathan Taylor rushes for 100 yards or under 75. Snuck this one out, Chris. He had 74. I take home the point. Don't worry, you're gonna have a close call as well. Chicago runs for over 150 rushing yards or under 100. You and I both said under 100. They ran for 138. Jared Goff has 3+ touchdown passes, or Dak Prescott does. We both went with Dak. They each had 1.
Well, come on, guys. What the hell are they doing? Come on.
What a letdown that one was.
I'll never bet against Ben Johnson in the run game again. I'll tell you that much.
Just floor it every single time. Patrick Mahomes has over 275 passing yards or under 225. You and I both wisely went under 225. He had 160.
But yes, I know.
Do not doubt the Texans.
Exactly right. Somebody once said their defense can win games by themselves.
Chris Fuchs. Our last one, A.J. Brown has over 100 receiving yards or under 30. This is the one that I missed, and you landed. You went with 100 plus.
I guess I got a push. or something.
You got 100.
Right? Yeah.
No, 100 plus counts.
Yeah, it does
counts.
Count. Okay.
We each won one by the margin of 1 yard.
Yeah, it's incredible. And
that's the game.
A.J. Brown at one point was 99 yards, and they must have stat corrected or readjusted, right? Which they do during games. They go back and they go, oh wait, we cheated him at a yard, right? Especially when it gets to those type of numbers, they do double look at it to make sure. And then there they were in overtime, and he had 100 yards, and you're like, oh wow, that continued his 4 games in a row, 100-yard 100-yard stuff. Got a little lucky there.
Let's kick things off then with the 9-4 Bills traveling to Foxborough. The 11-2 Patriots. What's more likely? The Bills have 4 offensive touchdowns or 2 or fewer. The Bills have 3.4 offensive touchdowns per game. That's third in the NFL. They had 2 against New England in Week 5. New England allows just 18.5 points per game. That's 5th best in the NFL. However, they are shockingly dead last in red zone defense.
I heard the announcers say that about them last week. I was shocked to hear that. You know what? I'm still going to go with 2 or fewer.
Okay.
I am. I believe in the Patriots defense. I believe that the Patriots can stop the run a little bit. I think they got the 2 corners that they can go, wait, you can shut down these receivers, and then we can stop the run or worry about Josh Allen. And I think they'll have a plan for Josh Allen in the red zone to where they won't be exposed, and those receivers aren't going to score touchdowns in the red zone. So I'm going to say it's 2 or fewer.
I'm going to join you on this one just because I think it's the type of game that the Patriots want to play.
Exactly.
And they're good enough to dictate that. It's not that I think the Bills won't win. I don't have a feel for that yet.
Right.
But betting on a lot of offensive explosive plays in this one.
I can tell you I'm taking the Patriots. That's one right now. In that game, I'm going to take the Patriots. Again, the one-man show thing with Buffalo scares me.
It is a hard way
I don't think he's going to get away with that against a Vrabel coach defense. They're going to have a pass rush plan. They're not going to just fly by him and let him run everywhere for 50-yard touchdowns and all that, right? And like I said, I think they can cover those corners. So, I mean, those receivers. So, yeah, I'm going to stay with that.
The 9-3-1 Packers travel to Denver. The 11-2 Broncos. What's more likely? Jordan Love is sacked more than Bo Nix or vice versa. Denver leads the NFL with 55 sacks. Green Bay is tied for 11th with 33, but Bo Nix is best in the NFL with a sack on just 3.3% of his dropbacks. Jordan Love is 6th at 4.5%. So the numbers would tell you here, Chris, that it's more likely Jordan Love is sacked more than Bo Nix. That doesn't mean anything on the indictment of the game.
No, right.
I'm going to go with that as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I think the Packers lose.
Exactly right.
I just think Jordan Love is more willing to take the sacks. I think his coach is allowing him to. Where Bo, everything is quick, roll out.
Usually. And it feels like he can run a little bit better than Jordan Love and get out of harm's way that way. Right. The Broncos, we know they're going to blitz. I mean, to me, they blitz too much at times. When I go, wait, you have too good of a front four to always put your secondary in such tough spots. Green Bay, on the other hand, is not like that. They kind of go, wait, hey, our front four or maybe an extra guy every now and then, but we just think that way. I'm with you. I'm going to go with Jordan Love, too. I'm going to go with Jordan Love and just, the fact that he does stay in the pocket. A lot of the times they do block it up and protect it, and he'll think he's protected, and he's going to wait for somebody downfield and get sacked. I think Jordan Love gets sacked more than Bo Nix.
The 8-5 Lions travel to play the Rams, the 10-3 Rams right now. What's more likely, Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford combined for 5+ passing touchdowns or 3 or fewer? Stafford, of course, leads the NFL with 35. Jared Goff is tied for second with 26, so combined that's 4.4 per game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 5+ here. I am. This is a game where Detroit played a defensive style last week that they usually don't play. They played 2 deep safeties. They changed it up on Dallas. I think that caught Dallas by surprise because Dallas is like, wait, Detroit plays more man-to-man than anybody. They're going to play us man-to-man. I think that's why Dak Prescott walked in the game and was like, yeah, we're about to light them up and tear them up, right? Didn't he say something like that to one of the beat writers? I think he did. I think he said it to Jane Slater or somebody. So, but this is a game where I don't think the Lions can go, you use that formula again. They're going to have to respect the run game of the Rams. So now you're one-on-one with Puka Nacua and company. And then on top of that, too, the Rams aren't the best man-to-man team, and Jared Goff and company, if you just play zone against them, I think he's going to throw touchdown passes. I'm going to go 5+ TD passes.
Another one we see eye to eye on. An indoor game.
Yeah,
both teams are very comfortable in the indoor environment.
Right.
And I respect both their fronts to defend the run. Yeah. Where you might have to throw for the touchdown.
Exactly. That's very true, too.
It's not going to be, hey, Jahmyr Gibbs and Kyron Williams and Blake Corum walk right in.
You're right.
I don't think they'll give them that.
You're right about that. And then you add the incentive of the Rams want to shove it up the Lions' asses. And then show them again that Matthew Stafford's better than Jared Goff.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Try to get some cheapies.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the MVP race.
Exactly.
I think that's real right now.
I told you a few weeks ago, right? I think they feel it. And they're the kind of group out there with L.A. They're like, this guy's too good. He's never even been in the MVP conversation, never even got a vote. Like, we're going to win this thing for him this year. And to me, he's firmly in the leader house right now.
What's more likely for the 8-5 Colts at the 10-3 Seahawks? Jonathan Taylor has over 90 rushing yards, or Jaxon Smith-Njigba has under 90 receiving yards. Jonathan Taylor has broken that mark just once in the past 5 games. JSN has gone under that mark in just 2 games this season. Oh, man. That's definitely one of the most brutal
you made
ones
it hard. When I first saw it, I was like, well, Jaxon Smith, I thought he was going to say over 90 yards. I was like, I'm definitely taking that.
I have a lean.
You do?
I'll take the under on JSN.
Okay.
Because there's a chance they don't have to keep throwing in this game.
That's a valid point.
The spread will be, depending on who's playing quarterback, it could be a 13.5-point spread.
Right.
It is no indictment on JSN. It's actually a positive indictment on the Seahawks.
Exactly.
He can get to 70 yards, and they're like, okay, let's run out the clock.
Damn. That is the point. You're exactly. I mean, there's no freaking way Jonathan Taylor gets over 90 yards in this game. I'd be shocked. I mean,
how do you let him?
Right. I mean, exactly. They're going to sell out to stop that. We got a quarterback issue, and I totally expect you. I think you said it right, exactly right. I mean, I don't really expect Jaxon Smith, JSN, to go under 90.
Right.
But yes, to your point there, in Seattle, I could see them dominating the game, blowing them out maybe, and then I'm not having to even throw the ball that much. And I'd just be shocked if Jonathan Taylor gets over 90 against this front.
The 8-4 Chargers against the 6-7 Kansas City Chiefs. What's more likely? Justin Herbert leads the Chargers in rushing yards, or Patrick Mahomes leads the Chiefs in rushing yards. Herbert has done it 6 times this season. Mahomes has done it 4. They both led their teams last week.
It's ridiculous.
That's
right?
not a good stat.
No, that's not a good stat. Exactly.
We have a first-round running back healthy now, by the way, on the Chargers.
And he did look good last night.
I thought he looked great.
He really did.
I get it,
yeah.
But I was like, why is Kamani Vidal on the field the entire second half?
There was a little too much.
It reached a point of like,
right.
Okay.
It's like, that was a good play, but if that was Omarion, that would have been a lot more yards there. I'm totally with you. I was thinking the same thing as I was watching. I'm going to go with Mahomes here. I think this is a game. I don't think Kansas City's good enough up front. I think that the Chargers will be able to run it a little bit. I don't think their pass rush is good enough to put Justin Herbert under duress all the time like we saw last night. And I guess I'm going to lean with Mahomes too, just because they're not great at running the ball, Kansas City. We know that. And like we talked about on the Tuesday pod, the Chargers are awesome at pass defense. So I think there's going to be a few plays where he's going to drop back and be like, oh, crap, nobody's open. I got to run and get out of here. So I'll go with Mahomes in that department.
I'll go with Herbert to break our streak of evens.
All
go
right.
a little different here. For me, this is one where their pass protection is in such a bad place from right now. He's just running for his life.
He might.
Last night people were like, is he going to run? He's got a broken hand. No reservation.
I mean, none at all. I mean,
how can you?
I know. He had no choice last night. He was in survival mode for sure. Right. He is a soldier for sure with that. I mean, man, did he get hit? I said to my son at one point in the third quarter, I was like, Justin Herbert's going to be so sore tomorrow. Like, it's going to be incredible. I bet you he woke up Tuesday morning and felt like he got hit by a Mack truck.
Bed.
I mean, he's getting hit and sacked more than any quarterback in football. It's not even close. It's not even close. And then you add the running to it and the hits he's taken there. I mean, holy crap, Ola Batman. But yeah, that one's that's a coin toss. You're right, because it could be free fall. They might go, hey, we can play man-to-man against these Chargers. We can blitz you. We don't care, all of that. So that'll be interesting to see who wins that one. All right, everybody, we did it.
Another week in the books.
Wednesday pod in the books. Connor, you the man. Thanks as always, man.
Thank you.
Driving the ship, coming up with all the good info to support me. I always appreciate it, dude.
No problem. I love it.
All right, Thursday, Picks Pod. Florio, me and him going at it. I think I'm in the lead. I'm going to continue to kick his ass. Screw Florio, all right? That's what I'm trying to do here. All right, you know where to find us. Check us out, Football Night in America, Sunday night. YouTube Live, Monday mornings at 10 a.m. YouTube Live, 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Wednesday, Tape Pod. That's what we are here right now. Thursday, Pod with Florio. All right, everybody, be good. Enjoy the week of games. Come at us. You know where to find us. Peace out. See you next time. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.